Member for Blair has the call. The member for Blair has the call.
Right.
The member for Blair has the call.
I can't even swear.
The member for Blair has the call. The member for Blair has the call.
My question is to the Minister.
Member for Blair, resume his seat.
Downer vows a fresh start. How are you going over there, Curly? Old darling.
One for the country, Robert! One for the country! One for the country!
Tell them to cancel this meeting at 6 o'clock, will you? I don't have the fucking patience to do it.
The lyrics of a song called Beds Are Burning. And have a listen to this. Have a listen to this. Order.
Now, questions of ministerial competence, and let me say I defend to the full Mr. Downer.
Shit happens.
Oh, fair shake of the sauce bottle, mate. Fair shake of the sauce bottle, mate. Well, again, fair shake of the sauce bottle, mate.
Number 3, how many times a day do you actually shake the sauce bottle?
This is called pause for thought. Not often enough.
I take it you'd like me to sing. I sing like a cow. I want your support to do this. You and you and you and you and you. Every one of you to make a difference.
The Prime Minister isn't here.
Where is he?
We want the Prime Minister here.
The member for Cowper will resume his seat. 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 The member for Cowper will remove himself from the House under Standing Order 94A.
And so you're happy to be here today? How are you feeling about it?
Pretty nervous. The 1903 question, I mean, that's rough. Yeah, that's seriously rough.
Thank you, Prime Minister.
It's rough in the sense that Mikey disappointed an entire nation by not knowing it.
The Treasurer spent 10 years in a hammock, you know. He just rots away. And the staff come over and he says, what's the national account sales? 2% again, Treasurer. Floats, oh, great, give me a rock, you know.
This fucking language. He's just complicates it.
When he advocated up to... Well, don't be too noisy over there. Yeah.
Order, the Deputy Leader of the Opposition.
You're so macho. Twice you've had a chance to take the opposition leadership. The first time you rang your friend next to you and offered it to him. This time you sat overseas while John got it from Hawke's Nest. Now, when I told our caucus last year that you were a low-altitude flyer, I was right, wasn't I?
I love your country, PM.
There's a Canadian in the back there.
Okay. Done a really nice job with it. We're going to check his visa later.
So he can't bowl, but I hear he's a good catch. No.
I mean, if Tony Abbott up the Prime Minister of Australia, I mean, you've got to say, God help us. God help us, you know. an intellectual, truly an intellectual nobody, and no policy ambition. You know, I mean, is that all there is? You know the song, is that all there is? I mean, is that where we'd be, really? I mean, I used to... Look, he turned up in the last couple of years when I was Prime Minister. I always regard him as a sort of resident nutter on their side.
Separate him. I'll give him the call next while you prepare. No, well, come on. I mean, we're not running a sideshow.
Australian Prime Ministers have had 2 beards and 3 moustaches.
Yep.
3 beards and 4 moustaches. Or 25 penises.
Look, I reckon the safest answer to this is 3 beards, 4 moustaches. There you go. What?
Go the first one, please.
On reflection, I've...
Can I just say, make a point about that little aside, Mr. Speaker? I might ask the Leader of the Opposition, did he have his children on board when he met Kerry Packer for lunch 2 Thursdays ago? In his Guess Who's Coming to Lunch? Eh? Or was it just you and Kerry? Was it a nice little meeting? Was it a nice little meeting? How did Kerry treat you? Well, I hope. You know, one Sydney boy to another. One Sydney boy to... Better he treats me, eh? Yeah? Yeah, good. Good on you, John.
You don't write crap.
Let's go special with the former Prime Minister, John Howard.
Sorry, Tony, take it as a comment.
Oh, no, we're not going to do that. Please.
And this is for your
just someone please remove that gentleman. Okay, well, we apologise. Okay, obviously we apologise for that.
That's all right, don't worry. Sorry.
And I'm very sorry.
No, forget it.
Okay, you're watching...
Relax.
Yeah.
A woman sidled up to me and she said, Tony, whatever you do, don't stop wearing the Speedos. And I said, well, I don't intend to stop wearing the Speedos. And she said, could you do me a favour? Could you do me a favour? She said, I said, sure. She said, get some smaller ones. Well, I've got to say, coming out of that water, I have smaller ones. I really do.
And I've actually bought him a small Christmas present as a token. I know that he's probably feeling a little bit poorly today.
Mr. Speaker, yesterday there was a usage of a prop by the Leader of the National Party, which you ruled out of order and had to be done away with. What is the difference when this prop is introduced? Is there one rule for each side?
The Deputy Leader of the Opposition, I did remind that she shouldn't display it too much, and she was good enough to listen. No, the prop. I think that I'll just rule against the member for Mackellar's point of order and get myself out of the second hole I've dug today. And just remind the House that whilst the member for Mackellar was on her feet, I was reminding the Deputy Prime Minister that she'd used her props long enough, and that's enough. And I'll try to be silent for the rest of question time. The Deputy Prime Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and I'll move right on before we start debating censorship laws, which was where that was all going next, as far as I could tell. There's Gretsch to get rid of, and of course there's those
Deputy
climate
Prime
change
Minister
deniers.
will resume her seat. Member for Mackellar on a point of order.
Mr. Speaker, I think I preferred the props. Could we return?
But that deserves an award, even though it might not have been a point of order. The Deputy Prime Minister will relate her material in some manner to the question.
Thank you very much. On the question of civics education, and I'd say to the member for Mackellar, in this horse race, the old horse ain't what she used to be. But moving right on.
The Prime Minister resume his seat. The member for Mackellar on a point of order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think the Minister wins by a nose.
cannot believe that the member for Macalla could get 2 awards, but the Deputy Prime Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. It's true to say I've got a genetic advantage. I'm prepared to pay that, absolutely.
Just fucking hopeless.